Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Recipe Tuesday. The recipe we're going to talk about today is my personal recipe for homemade spaghetti sauce. I learned about this recipe through my mom, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know how to make it. It's her recipe, but what I did along the way is I slightly tweaked it just a little to make it my own. But what you're going to need to make it is this right here. For starters, you will need one medium yellow onion. And what you're going to do with that medium yellow onion is you're going to cut it up, or slice it rather, and then set it aside. The next step, you're going to take fresh garlic, a whole clove, break it apart. You're going to reel off 3 to 4 pieces from that. And usually if it's a decent piece of garlic between those 3 or 4 pieces, what you're going to do is you're going to cut up or cut down that piece of garlic. The next step, to put it together, in a Dutch style pot, you're going to add olive oil to coat the bottom of the pot. I use approximately, now keep in mind, I do not measure when I cook. Everything is done by guesstimation. But I use approximately 1/4 cup of oil. It could be slightly more. So when you do that, the next step you're going to do is you're going to take the onions, cut up. I like to rinse it under water a little bit. Put it in the pot. And you're going to fry the onions until they start to turn just a little bit. They may go to a very light golden brown. Once that happens, the garlic, also rinse it under water. You're going to set it back down on the cutting board. I usually take a wood meat tenderizer and I press down the garlic. It helps bring the flavor out. And then I add the garlic to the onion mixture and I cook it together, probably just a little bit shy of medium heat. After you do that, if you want to add it or if you want to keep it as a marinara sauce, which you can do as well, the next step is you're going to add a pound of ground beef or turkey, if you want to use that, if desired, after the onions and garlic are a medium golden color. You're going to cook everything together until the meat has cooked all the way through. After the ground meat has cooked, you're going to add 1 28-ounce can of tomato puree, 1 can of petite diced tomatoes, and 1 can of tomato paste. Once that's in there, add, even though I say 3 teaspoons of sugar, you're going to add approximately 3 teaspoons of sugar for acidity. Now you will, as the sauce is cooking, you are going to see a little bit of like an orange foam form, and you're going to stir that in. Now you will periodically, as the sauce is cooking, you will have to taste it to make sure that the acidity is no longer there. If there is any acidity, add slight increments of sugar, then take your spoon, go back and wash it off, and check it periodically as you go along. But this is after everything is in the sauce and cooking, not right away. Now, after you put the sugar in, you're going to go and add approximately 1 tablespoon of basil, parsley, and oregano. What I do is I put the basil stir it in. Parsley, stir it in. Oregano, stir it in. I also like to add a little bit of black pepper. It's usually about 3 shakes, 2 to 3 shakes. All right. What I just mentioned a minute ago, you're going to cook it on low medium heat for 45 minutes. In the course, as it's cooking, that's where you're going to see the orange foam appear. All you're going to do is just stir that in. But you will want to taste the sauce as the sauce is cooking. And then add the sugar, if you need it. You're going to cook it for 45 minutes. Sometimes I've been known to go an hour, and I'll tell you where that comes in. I have been known to use 2 28-ounce cans of tomato instead of 1. It also depends on how much I want to make, how much I want to have left over to fall back on, because I am somebody, when I make spaghetti sauce, I do like to leave some in reserve because I can repurpose it. I have been known to take spaghetti sauce, a can of beans, and some chili powder and create a chili from it. Most people don't realize that spaghetti sauce can be converted to chili. It's not that hard. So when you do that, that's pretty much the extent of making my spaghetti sauce. It's pretty easy. It's not hard. And it's very good. Now, do keep in mind, I will tell you this. I do like using Roma tomatoes. Tutto Rosso makes Roma tomato. Contadina is another brand that does Roma tomato. There's one called Cento, Cento, a little bit more expensive in a yellow can. That's Roma tomato. And there's another one called De Fratelli, I believe, that's also a Roma tomato. So you do have a few options. If you don't want to go the Roma tomato route, you do not have to. But what you may have to do if you don't go the Roma tomato route is you may have to go and add a little bit more sugar, because I use the Roma tomato not only for the flavor, but it also has less acidity as well. Anyway, I thought I would go ahead and share my homemade, made from scratch spaghetti sauce recipe with all of you. And if you would like to make it, definitely consider doing that. Let me go ahead and put the last step up. Like I said, you're going to cook the sauce on low medium heat for about 45 minutes and then serve it with your favorite pasta. And that can be whatever you want it to be. All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this morning. And I'll see you guys back here on Thursday. I've got a pretty good video to share with you on Thursday. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Bye.